Welcome again to the Lekker Rugby Pod. Andre Pretorius and I are going to be going through another position, a set of positions really, because some of the positions in rugby are tandem couples. Andre, how are you doing? And did you ever kick in a shootout kickoff contest when you were going for poles?
Hi, Harry. Nice to see you again. Good to be on here. Harry, I didn't, but last night I went through the same emotions. Being a kicker, obviously myself, I could just think and put myself into that position. And you know what it kind of reminded me of? It reminded me of, and it's something that I used to do quite often, is when the forwards were doing line out unit sessions after training, I would always try and kick very close to them. And because if you miss, those boys give you a lot of crap. They want to see you miss. They talk to you beforehand. They tell you what you're going to do. And, you know, we had a guy like Derek Minnie who was kicking with his toe. And he nearly beat me in a kickoff one day. So I used to go there and they would stand in a line next to, obviously the guy's not part of the, and they'd have a look at the kicking. But I did it on purpose. It really helped me focus on just going through that. And I was given a lot of crap by them, but it kind of brought flashes back from those training days and the forwards, wanting you to miss that kick, and that pressure is immense.
Yeah, and locks, who we're about to talk about today, they face the same pressure at line-out time, of course, because it's 79 minutes. There's a call. I mean, this happened. All Blacks losing in Cape Town. The All Blacks had to put a ball into a line-out, and they had one last gasp, and then it was Ibn lifting Peter Steph Toy, a steal, and Norche kicks it out. So there's moments where there's almost clinical laboratory conditions you have to execute. And so locks, we're going to talk about today, are part of that little system in the lineouts. We struggle a bit sometimes in this series because, we're not just picking in a vacuum. We have to pick sort of a couple. In the midfield, you have two centers, although 12 and 13 have become very different from each other. They become much more specialized. And the swing midfielder is more uncommon. Lucanio Arm can do it, but not everyone can do it. At the wings, you'd be surprised how left wings and right wings don't really love crossing the pitch, even though Chess and Colby, Curtly Aronsek can definitely do it because they're leckerbacks. And then as by now we know the props, the left hand, the loose head, and the right hand tight head props. Very few swing props like Tank to Toy left anymore. In the day, you could do it more easily. So today we're going to talk about locks, and we're going to start out actually with the number 4. It's a bit arbitrary, right? Because you put a number 4 lock, but you can stand wherever you want to the line out. In the scrum, you can switch depending on how you want to pack your scrum. Don Human likes a no space in between scrum. Or if a drone looked down or a spider cam looked down, you would see nothing. So if you have Ox Inche out there with Trevor and Bongi, that's a short front row. You want to make sure that your locks don't imbalance it. Other thing we all know about locks is they're tall. Okay, so now we're getting into the position where you actually have to have dimensions that are uncommon in the world. There's a lot of 6'1" guys, 1.85, 100 kgs, who got serious aggro running around, and we can figure out if they're a hooker or a flank. Just millions and millions and millions.
The 5.5s.
Yeah, there's not a lot of 2-meter tall guys who can run a 10K, have good hands, are belligerent, and have the shoulders that can handle a locks play. So we're looking at very rare guys. We also have 2 of them, and if we have a bench, we have 2. It's a big percentage of the team, and so basically, if your locks are really good, you've got a huge advantage on the other team. Luckily, we've had one of the greatest locks running around for a long time in South Africa, Ibn Etzebeth, who literally almost erased the difference between the Bucky's type and the Victor type. So we're going to dive in, but just be aware, once again, we're dealing with a unicorn that does a lot of different things. We tried to take the categories and sort of outline them in a 40%, 30%, 20%, 10%. We've done this through all the positions. Please go back and look at some of these. They're really cool how we've looked at wings and fly-offs and scrum-offs and try to isolate that. But for the lock, who we'll call the 4, we want set piece to occupy 40%. What does that mean? line out, scrums, restarts, basically the maul killing. All that will put into a set piece and say, you've got to be a technician. You've got to do that job. And it's, yes, it's technical, but also it's effort. The next category is going to be carrying, your ability to carry over the gain line repetitively. 30% of that, stopping, tackling, and carrying, the gain line percentage. 20% at ruck, and this means that you are going to clean rucks. If you are a lock, if you are the enforcer lock, if you're the number 4 on the back, if you cannot clean a ruck by yourself, if you need help, you're in trouble. You know, you're already not really a Springbok number 4. And then finally, power, and by this I mean you've got to be pretty much the most powerful guy on the pitch. If you're number 4 and you walk in there and you say, what are you playing today? I'm Springbok number 4. You've got to be the guy who can move things, stop things. As they said back in the day, people that play the piano, people that move the piano. You are a piano shifter.